Alright, this is my chapter project for number 7. We will be doing number 5 on page 427 of the chapter 7 review. Number 5 reads, if we refer to the weights in grams of quarters listed in dataset 29 in Appendix B, we find 50 weights with a mean of 5.622 grams and a standard deviation of 0.068 grams. The U.S. Department of the Treasury claims that the procedure it uses to mint quarters yields a mean weight of 5.670 grams. Use a 0.01 significance level to test the claim that the mean weight of quarters in circulation is 5.670 grams. If the claim is rejected, what is the possible explanation for the discrepancy? Alright, so first it says we find 50 weights, so N equals 50. Alright, so it says we find 50 weights, so N equals 50 with a mean of 5.622, and that 5.622 is the sample mean, so it's X bar. And a standard deviation of 0.068, and since that's a sample standard deviation, it's S equals 0.068. And then the claim is the U.S. Department of the Treasury claims that the procedure it uses to mint quarters yields a mean weight of 5.670. So the claim is mu equals 5.670, and the opposite of that is mu does not equal 5.670, and because the original claim, the mu equals 5.670, has the equal sign, that's the null hypothesis, and so this is the alternative hypothesis. Okay, now moving on, we need to find our test statistic, our p-value, and our critical value. So, to find our test statistic and p-value, we will use t-test because sigma is not known. So we type in t-test on our calculator, and our test statistic is negative 4.99, and then our p-value is 7.97 times 10 to the negative 6. And you have to remember that times 10 to the negative 6, because if you look at 7.97, it's not correct, because the range of p is from 0 to 1. And now we need to find the we need to find the critical value. And for that, we will use inverse norm. And since the claim is mu equals 5.670, it is we will plug it in to inverse norm to 0.01, since that is our significance level, divided by 2. So our critical value equals positive and negative 2.58, since it is two-tailed. Alright, and now it's time for our conclusion. Alright, and for our initial conclusion, we're going to use the p-value method, and that's if p is greater than or equal to alpha, we reject the null hypothesis, or If P is not greater than or equal to alpha, we fail to reject it. So in this case, we will reject our null hypothesis. And for our formal conclusion, we will write it out, and it's there is sufficient evidence. I'm going to shorten sufficient and evidence. I'm going to shorten that also. Sufficient evidence to reject the claim that, I'm just going to leave out that for the sake of not having it all bunched up. And then we write down our original claim, which was mu equals 5.670. And there you go. That is how you find the answers to number 5.